Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So when you see me with no makeup on and like my sweater, that means it's a new declutter video because I always look like this when I'm decluttering. I don't see the point of looking pretty when I'm just going to go through my makeup. So for today's video, I'm going to go through my eyeshadow palettes because that is so needed. This drawer is so full and I really do need to go through my eyeshadow palette. So if you want to see me declutter my eyeshadow palette drawer, then just keep on watching. So in today's video, we are going to be decluttering this drawer, which is all my eyeshadow palettes and also lashes. I have so many like lash cases right here, and this drawer I can't even close it. So this one I have to do some serious decluttering in. I have way too many palettes and I don't use all of my palettes. So next thing now, eyeshadow palettes. So here we have some of my palettes. This is probably half of my collection of palettes. My favorite palette here is the Morphe 35O palette. I feel like there's so much like rumors and stuff like that about Morphe nowadays, but I honestly love this palette and I think the quality is amazing. So I'm definitely keeping 35O from Morphe. I also love this one from Stila. This is the Matte Spectrum palette. I think this is so pretty, and yeah, I love this palette. Also the same with this one. This is just the matte eyeshadow palette from Stila. Love it. Perfect eyeshadow. So I'm definitely keeping that. Definitely keeping my two newest palettes, which is the Too Faced Sweet Peach palette. Just look at these shades. I think they're gorgeous, and I haven't played around with this too much. I definitely want to keep it. Same with the Tartist Pro palette, which I also just got. This is how it looks like. It's so pretty. Definitely keeping it. I'm also keeping my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. I really do like this. It's a good neutral palette. For my Naked palettes, I think the one I like the most is Naked 1. This is how Naked 1 looks like. And also I really like Naked 3. I don't use it that often, but it does have some really pretty shades that I like. So I'm keeping this one as well. So I'm definitely keeping those two. Okay, so this is kind of hard. I'm definitely keeping my two NYX palettes because this one, first of all, I really like. This one I haven't tried yet, so I want to give it a chance before I, decide what I'm going to do with it, but it looks really pretty. This is the NYX Ultimate palette in warm neutrals, and also this one is called Brights. It's a really pretty one. This one you probably think I would get rid of. This is the Anastasia Lavish palette. It's like the first eyeshadow palette that they came out with, but this one is the one that I always travel with. As you can see, I've used it a lot, and this one is perfect for traveling because it doesn't weigh anything, it doesn't take up any space, and I find that it just have perfect eyeshadow for every day, and you can also use it for a night out. So I really do like that palette. I think I'm going to get rid of the Naked 2 palette because I always keep it because I like to have it as like a collector piece with like all my Naked palettes, but I just don't reach for it. So I'm going to get rid of Naked 2 palette, and also I'm going to get rid of this one. This is the Naked Basics palette, which I really did enjoy when it came out, but now it's just too cool toned, too boring for me. But it's actually really nice if you just like really neutral eyeshadows. It's really nice because you can use it for brows, you can use it for a lot of things, but for me, I don't reach for it. I never reach for it, so I'm getting rid of that one. I'm gonna get rid of this one. This is a dupe for the Naked 2 palette. So this is from the brand Brunx, which the Urban Decay one is a little bit better than this one, so why keep this one when I don't want the Naked 2 palette? Anyway, so I'm going to get rid of this palette. I am going to keep my IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. I do not like the packaging, it looks so dirty, but these eyeshadows are in such good quality. I love these matte eyeshadows. They look so beautiful on the eyes, so if you want a good matte eyeshadow palette, this one is so good. It's so underrated, but it's amazing. And I think I'm going to keep my Lorac Pro 2 palette because I feel like you either really love this, you either don't love it, but I kind of like these colors. I find a lot of these colors to be really unique, and I have some really pretty looks that I like to do with this eyeshadow palette, so I do like it. And as you can see, I've actually hit pen on my eyeshadow, so I do like this. So I'm going to keep it. And also, it doesn't take up too much space. It's really slim, and yeah, I like it. I don't use it that often, but I like it. Then we have these two from Ava, which I think I'm definitely going to keep Sweet Glamour. I think this is so pretty. It's just a gorgeous like spring tone color palette. I think the pops of colors are stunning. I just really like it, and the packaging is just amazing. The Basic Moment one, I think is a really pretty neutral eyeshadow palette. Really pretty. but will I be using it? I feel like what's missing in this palette is a really, really dark shade to deepen things up, because I feel like this one is not dark enough. Okay, so I have nothing to say about the quality. I did swatch a few eyeshadows here and they swatch really pretty, but I don't know. I feel like it's a little bit too cool tone for me and I honestly don't think I will be using it. Oh, this is hard. No, I'm actually not going to be using this one, so I'm actually getting rid of the Basic Moment eyeshadow palette. So for these eyeshadows, I think I'm going to start with the ones that I love the most, and that is definitely the Urban Decay Electric palette. I love this palette. I think it's just the perfect bright eyeshadow palette and I love this, so I'm definitely keeping it. Also keeping my Moon Dust palette because it is so pretty and so stunning. I love these. You have to wet these, but once you wet them, they are just beautiful. So I'm keeping that. I love the packaging of that one as well. I'm definitely keeping my MAC eyeshadow palette. This is just like warm tone eyeshadows. I think they're so pretty. I'm also keeping my Kylie Burgundy palette. This one looks kind of messy, but I honestly haven't used this one too much. I really haven't digged into this one in a while now, but I do really like it. I think it has some really pretty shades. Like some of these warm tone eyeshadows are just gorgeous, so I'm definitely keeping this one. And also this one I haven't tried yet, but I think it's so pretty. This is the MAC Fruit Alala eyeshadow palette. This is from the new collection, the summer collection, and I just think these eyeshadows are just so pretty and I want to try it before I decide what I'm going to do with it. And also like packaging. Bomb. And this is probably kind of surprising, but I'm actually going to keep this one. You would probably not think I would keep this, but when I had blue hair, I love these eyeshadows, and also these are really, really good eyeshadows. And if I'm going to go back to my blue hair, I love these eyeshadows. I think they're so pretty. Also, this shimmer shade is like the best highlighter I've ever used for like my inner corner. I don't know what it is, but this is so pretty. It's called Fresh Blade. Oh, love that eyeshadow. So actually, just because of that eyeshadow, I'm keeping this quad. I think it's so pretty. Now it is getting kind of hard. I think I'm also going to keep this Urban Decay Nocturnal Shadow Box. I really like the Midnight Cowboy in reds again. And also it has some really pretty shades. So I'm going to keep this one. Okay, so now I think I have to get rid of some of these. I think I'm going to get rid of this NYX Full Truddle in Stunner, this eyeshadow quad. It is beautiful. I think these eyeshadows are gorgeous. They're good quality. But do I use it? No, I don't use it, so I'm getting rid of it. This one from MAC, this is from the Brandt Brothers collection, and this is the Four Pillars quad, and you guys can just look at these. They're really, really neutral eyeshadows that work for a lot of people, but it's just a little bit too basic for me, so I don't see the point of keeping this one, so getting rid of that. Also, I think I might get rid of both of my Sleek palettes because I love that they are so small, so sturdy, good for traveling, but I just tend to forget about my Sleek products. I don't know what it is, especially like these black palettes. Like, I love that they are so like sleek, but I just tend to forget about them. Like, they are really, really good quality and these colors are beautiful. This is the Sunset palette, but I just forget about it. Same with this one, which is the Au Naturel palette. It's a very pretty neutral eyeshadow palette, but again, I just tend to forget about it, so I'm just getting rid of it. This one I'm really on the fence about because this is very good quality. This is from Lime Creme, and this is the Venus palette. And I have barely touched these eyeshadows, and I find these eyeshadows to be in such good quality. They are so pretty. Like, look at that. That is beautiful. And then we have this brown shade called Creator. They're amazing, amazing quality. Such good eyeshadows, but I do have these type of shades in other palettes, like in the Kylie Burgundy palette, in my MAC palette with Makeup Geek eyeshadows and stuff like that. I do have dupes for this, but just look at this. It's so pretty. Oh, but it is time to say goodbye to this one. It makes me kind of sad. Same with this one. This is the Stila in the Lights palette. Also a very pretty eyeshadow palette. This is the perfect everyday palette for anyone. I think anyone would like this. It's perfect for like a bride. It's perfect for a night out. It's perfect for daytime. It's honestly just like the perfect eyeshadow palette. I don't know why they discontinued this one. But because of that, I don't show it on my channel because, you know, you can't get your hands on it anymore. And I just don't tend to reach for this one. But it is beautiful, but I'm getting rid of it. This one I'm also going to get rid of. This is from Pierre Rene. This is, some of these eyeshadow broke, as you can see. But these are one of the most pigmented eyeshadows I have ever tried in my life. Pierre has very good eyeshadows, but I just tend to forget about this palette. This is also another MAC palette. I am going to keep this one even though I don't use any of these eyeshadows in here, but it's nice to have one like a backup eyeshadow palette from MAC. And then we have these two Inglot eyeshadow palettes. These make me happy. Oh, look at that first one. This one is stunning. It's honestly so stunning. I might just get rid of this one. I don't know if I should, because I think I'm gonna keep this one, and then if I buy new eyeshadows from Inglot, I know that I have a palette that I can use, because I honestly don't use these eyeshadows, even though they're really pretty, but I've had them for a couple of years and I feel like they kind of dried up a little bit. But this one, like, this is super beautiful. Like, these eyeshadows are really pigmented. Look at that. That is gorgeous. And also this yellow one, beautiful. And I just, this palette is just stunning. So I am keeping that one. I'm also keeping this one. So yeah. So here we just have some like highlight palettes. I'm definitely keeping my BH Cosmetics Carly Bible palette. I did a full video on this and I think it is just beautiful. So I'm keeping that one for sure. And also my Anastasia Nicole Guerrero palette. Beautiful. Definitely keeping those. Same with the Strobe of Genius palette from NYX. I think this is such good quality. I think they look so pretty on the cheeks, on the cheeks, and yeah, I really like that one. Here we have some Zoeva Strobe Spectrums and also the Brow Spectrum. Okay, let's open them to see what we have here. Okay, so if I have to pick one of them, it would definitely be the Spring Spectrum. It's definitely not my most used one, but this is so cool to use in your inner corners. It's really cool to have some like holographic shadows, and I know all of these look white. When you swatch them, they actually have, like, for example, that one is green, this one is more pink. They're really pretty, like, holographic colors, kind of like that Kat Von D palette that is so popular right now. So I'm definitely keeping that one because it's so unique and I love it. It's a Spring Spectrum. I'm also going to keep this one, which is the Summer Spectrum, because it is very pretty. I don't know about these. Will I be using them? Really pretty and very pigmented and gorgeous, but just like, will I be using them? I might get rid of the Winter Spectrum. I'm definitely not going to be using this one on my cheeks, but I don't think I will actually be using it on my eyes either. So I'm actually kind of getting rid of this Winter Strobe Spectrum. And this Brow Spectrum, I really don't know. I think I'm going to keep it because this is my only brow powders that I have. So I'm actually keeping that one. I forgot to show you guys one palette, but I'm definitely keeping also the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette. I think this one is beautiful. This is probably my favorite naked palette. So here you have the palettes that I'm keeping. Eyeshadow palettes is like my obsession, my like guilty pleasure. I love eyeshadow palettes, so these are the ones I'm keeping. And these are the ones that I'm getting rid of. So I'm actually kind of proud of getting rid of this many. I didn't think I would get rid of all of these, but I'm really happy that I did. Actually 12 eyeshadow palette. That is kind of huge for me. I didn't see that coming, so I'm really proud. So it's really nice to, you know, get rid of these eyeshadow palettes and just keep the ones that you guys know that I love. These are my favorite. I'm really excited to actually organize this into my drawers now. So now this is how I store all of my eyeshadows. So I still have a lot of eyeshadows, but I definitely got rid of a lot, so it's a little bit easier to find what I actually want in this drawer. So I really hope you guys liked that video. It was so much fun to do. I love decluttering. If you would like me to continue doing declutter videos, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I have swatches all over my hands because that's what you do when you're decluttering. So I really hope you guys like this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!